Perhaps one of the most frightening psukim, sentences in all of the book of Bereshis, is read at the end of this week's parsha. Hashem appears to Avram and he tells him, Vayomer, Kach no es bincha es yichidcha asher ahavta es Yitzchak. Please take your son, whom you love, v'lech lecha el eretz haMoriah, v'haleu sham la'olah. Take your son and bring him up as a sacrifice. Frightening. God commands Avram to take his only son, who is supposed to be the legacy, and bring him for an oila, a korban. What's very peculiar here is Rashi. Rashi is bothered. Why are we using a lashon? Why are we using the language? Why does God use the language of kachna? Please take. It just doesn't fit. Please take your son and kill him. Take your son. What's kachna? Please. Rashi says, Eina el lashon ba'kasha. Hashem saying, Bevakasha mimcha, please. Amoid li bezan esayin. Please arise, stand up to this test. Pass this one. So I won't have to say that the original ones, the first 9 tests which you've passed, there was nothing to them. Now, I don't get that. We all have our ups and downs. Better, good days, bad days. Sometimes we pass the test, and sometimes we fail. When we fail the test, that means it's all over? The test we passed, the struggles we fought through mean nothing? Think about it, back in high school or college, there are 2 reasons or even 2 types of tests that you receive. At the end of the year, you're given a final, and that's a test to see, can you move on? What do you know? You go for a licensing exam. They just want to know, do you know the material? Can we license you in what you're applying for? Then there's another type of test. That's a test you'll get during the year, maybe a quiz or something like that the teacher reviews when you're done. See, the point of that test is not for the teacher's sake. That's for your sake. What do you know and what don't you know? What's really inside you? How much information do you really have in your head? The Nisayan, when God gives a test, He knows the answer. He knows the result. So why does He test us? He tests us to teach us what do we have inside. What's really inside of us? What koiches have we not brought out yet? What abilities, what potential is still there, buried within us? And He gives us the ability to struggle, to pass the test, to show what's really inside. You know, I never started a religion, but I can imagine if you start a religion, you start a movement, and you have your son who's supposed to take over and lead this idea, this ideal that you've imparted. And God comes to you and tells you, it's it. Shacht your son, he's finished with. What was Avram thinking? He's like, oh my God, my whole life's work is about to go before me. So what was God trying to bring out to Avram? He said, Avram, you created a religion. Was it for your sake or was it for my sake? Is it for you or is it for me? And we do lots of things all day. We do lots of mitzvahs. And sometimes we just get into such a rote, we forget, why do we do these things? Has it just become a cultural event we attend? Is this the way I do it? Do we forget that there's a creator, there's a God above who's commanded us, who wants to connect to us? The point of all of these mitzvahs are to connect. So Hashem tells Avram, I want you to take your son up, what your legacy, what you've been doing this for, I want to know, are you willing to give that all up for me? Is this religion about me or is it about you? Avram passed the test. God says, At yadati, now I know ki yoreli kimata. Why you would, the reason for all of that which you've done was for me. So Hashem in the beginning implores Avram, Kachna, please pass this test. Let me know that all you've been doing all along was about me. Let's take the message. Let's bring back God into our life. Let's bring him back into our religion. Let's not have a religion without God. Let's not have Maisa without Kavanah. Let's live it. Let's learn to connect. Let's reconnect. Let's bring back the neshama into our lives.